Hello, friends. It's been a while. Um, I think I'll just jump right into it. Um, my latest rabbit hole or pondering, um, the inner child. Is it a real thing? Um, it's funny how I get myself into these spirals or rabbit holes, but um, yeah, I was just thinking about it the other day for a little bit, and it really captured my attention. Um, like, is it a real thing? Or is it just a catchphrase that's like lasted for so long? And the reason why I bring it up is because if you think, oh, like I have an inner child, and then that would probably mean then we have an inner present self, or and maybe an inner old self, an inner old person inside of us, but we never speak of the inner old person or the inner present self. We always look back to the child. And I don't know, it just made me it it started me thinking, like, what about the inner 20-year-old or the inner 30-year-old or the inner 40-year-old? Um like, that person would be just as important as the inner child, but we only talk about the inner child or focus on the inner child. Like, that's where all of our trauma comes from or originates or starts from. So then it just didn't sit right with me for some reason. Maybe it's just because um of the definition. Like, the kid in me needs to be healed or is broken. But maybe the language should be changing, and it should be evolving instead of being stuck or in the same place that it's been for so long, because so many things um, in this world are always evolving, but our language isn't. Like, we're choosing to use the same words that maybe don't sit right or hit the same. Maybe because we're not evolving, um, or is it a lack of imagination or definition? So maybe instead of saying healing the inner child, because what if that child was never broken or hurt or harmed, but it was the older self? Like I said, the 20-year-old or the 30-year-old, um, 40-year-old. Like, should we just really be saying, I want to heal my past? Because what if it has nothing to do with the child? I mean, sure, stuff happens when we're young, but what if we had a great childhood or a good childhood? Or what if we made amends with our youth or things that happened while we were little, but not so much as we got older? Then you would almost feel lost or have no definition for it. And then you might just excuse it because it's not the child that was hurting. And then I started thinking, like, are we really healing? Um, are we really healing our past, or is it? We're just finding a different perspective on an event that happened, that already happened, that we cannot change. Like, is that what we're really doing? And not, I don't know. I'm also struggling with the word healing only because it would imply that we're broken. But what if we're not? What if we never were broken? We just lacked understanding or perspective or higher purpose. Like, why did this happen? Why did I put this on my life path? Because then we have to take ownership for it. It's almost like we get caught looking outside again, like finding fault or blame with someone else when we signed up for it. Like, we signed on for that trauma to happen for us. We put it on our map. So if we did that, then there's no blame to be placed on someone else. There's just understanding of ourself. Like, why did we ask for this to happen? What is the significance? What is the importance of this event that I'm not recognizing, that becomes a theme in my life moving forward that I wish to resolve or move away from? Is that really what we're doing, is looking for perspective or understanding of ourself? And maybe the reason why we get stuck is because we're looking at the outside. We're looking at the person that hurt us, um, or the event that we couldn't process at the time, that we chose to hold on to. Because I say, like, we chose to hold on to things because we've, some people have experienced many traumatic events when they're young, but you don't hold on to everything. You don't, like, put focus on everything. Only some things. So I'll just say, for instance, for myself, um, because I spoke about this before. I think a constant theme in my life, especially when I was young, was being in fear, living in fear of anything. I was really sick when I was young, and my mom, well, the doctors didn't know what was wrong with me, and I was always sick, like, very sick. Um, my kidneys weren't working properly, and I was like I think 3 years old, and my mom was very worried. She thought I was gonna die, and she expressed that all the time. Like, every time I got sick, she would pray for me, please, Jesus, heal my son, don't take my son away from me, and it just made me fearful. And I'm not blaming her or anything like that. I understand, when there's like a lack of control over someone that you care for so much, like, you become in fear. Well, some people can become in fear, and that fear transferred to me. Like I said, I've made peace. I've made peace with all of this. I don't blame my mom for, like, screwing me over, or um planting an ugly seed in me. It was what it was, like, she's learning her lessons as well as I am. Um, but it did for a long time, and maybe even a little bit still today. Um, it has been a major theme in my life of living in fear of, and it's just dot 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 anything. or living with anxiety, like always like looking at people differently than other kids. I used to remember like thinking a lot where I didn't have like the normal childhood. Um, so I had to be street smart at a very young age, and I just remember like watching my other friends how they could go down the street never looking over their shoulder or wondering what's around the corner or thinking about the bad thing that could happen. Or is that guy safe? Like, is he gonna jump us? Why is he looking at us? They never looked like that, or they never thought of that. They never carried that with them. I did. Um, and it was like, I wish I had that freedom. The freedom to not be so cautious or carry that anxiety. That was when I was young. Um, but I carried that with me. But I never carried the the fact that I used to get beat up every day going to school by by someone in our family. Um, and the only reason why it stopped was because I left home because I didn't want to get beat up every day. I couldn't tell nobody because it was somebody in our family, and my mom loved this person dearly. And at the time, I was like, "You love him more than me." A little bit over dramatic, but I guess as a child, we go there. But I never carried that trauma with me, or I never even considered it as a trauma. I just knew that I got beat up every day uh, going to school, and it didn't matter because we lived together. Um, this guy knew when I was going to school. We shared a room. He'd wake up. He'd catch me. Um, yeah. um, I don't know why it's kind of funny, but it just he knew all the tricks, and I could never outsmart him. He was bigger, stronger, faster than me, so I couldn't beat him up. I couldn't run away. Um, we played football together, so if I got bruises, then it was from football practice. But yeah, one day I just said I'm done, and I left home and I never came back. And but it wasn't something that I carried forward with me. I didn't like drag it like a bag of rocks or carry it in my heart like I do the fear of or the anxiety of what could happen. So I guess like that's like why are some things worthy of being carried forward and other things are maybe not worthy of that and they're just left where they were and there's almost like peace to it. Like it is what it is, or it was what it was, and I'll leave it there. But other things we choose to carry forward. Why is that? Like, are we really victims of other people? Like, am I a victim of my mother or my father or the family member who beat me up every day? Or am I actually just a victim of myself and what already happened to me that I can't change? Like I go back into the past and I relive those memories, and no matter what happens, the event will always be the same, right? But what could change is the way we see it or the way we look at it, the perspective or the understanding as to why it happened. So if that's the case, if what we're really looking for is just perspective, then what are we healing? Are we really broken? Like, oh, I was broken as a child. I splintered and shattered into a million pieces. And healing uh, the inner child will make me whole again, or but we can't change the event that broke us. I don't know. I think all we're really looking for is understanding. Like what we really are looking for without knowing it is understanding. I don't think, I guess, like, I don't want to say in a weird sense, I guess finding understanding could be healing, but are we wounded by something that happened 20 years ago, or are we just confused by it? Because the bruises have healed. I'm not afraid of death or dying. I don't have kidney issues anymore. I don't think I look over my shoulder um, like I used to as a kid, even as a young adult. I don't. I don't try to read people to see if they're a bad person and they're gonna, like, what is their next move, or are they gonna hurt us? If I read somebody, it's because you asked me, like, hey, what do you see? Or what do you think? Um, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I probably won't use the inner child. I won't use that anymore. I won't say those words anymore. Probably moving forward. Maybe consciously I won't use it because I don't know. It just doesn't sit right anymore. Like I think it should be just the past. And it's not a healing. I think it's just an understanding. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Probably am. A lot of you guys are smart. Um, and probably probably yelling at your screen like you don't get it. You're missing the point, or you're missing this one thing. And I'm like, oh. Uh, so please share your comments. Put it in the comments. Let me know where I veered off if I did. But yeah, right now as I sit here, just don't. I think the correct term would be I want to gain understanding for my past to move forward, not heal a broken inner child so that I could unlock the shackles that's holding me back. Maybe just find understanding as to why I put this on my path and what was the purpose for it. Not looking outside but looking inside, not blaming somebody else for my trauma, even though I say that sarcastically a little bit because I don't feel like I was traumatized, even though I had many experiences that I didn't want to have, but I did, or other people haven't experienced and they deem it as trauma. Yeah, I don't feel broken. I don't feel broken from what happened when I was young or in my teens, 20s, 30s. I don't feel broken from it, or I don't feel like I need to be healed. And this is not to say like all of you should feel like this. I get it. People go through really bad things and they do struggle um, with coming to terms for it. But I'll just say for myself, um, yeah, I don't feel like that. I don't feel like um, I don't feel like my past is troubled me. I will acknowledge that, some things that I do carry forward. So I still have a bit of anxiety. It's probably why I have high blood pressure. um, there's other things. Um, I guess it's kind of interesting how things have changed for me after this second trip to Sedona, where I guess the way I see things is different. Like my 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 vision has changed. Um, actually, really has. I need to go to the eye doctor. Um, anyways, but yeah, I just don't feel like I'm the same person. But actually, I kind of felt like this before about the inner child, but I don't know why it just came up. Well, I kind of do, and that's for a different video. Um, maybe a future offering. But yeah, I just don't. I get caught in definitions because definitions have meaning, right? Like when you say child, I'm thinking little kid, but it kind of means more than that. And so maybe maybe just saying I want to heal my past. Well, I didn't even like saying the word heal my past. I want to reconcile it or have understanding, or maybe reconcile was is a better term, because there's like to say that we are confused or we don't have understanding and we want to come to terms with it. Maybe I should stop here before I create more confusion if I have already. But yeah, I guess like yeah, I still feel like is I don't think it's a real thing. Well, I mean, it's not a real thing because everybody's definition is different. For me, yeah, I'll say my past, present, and future. I think so. Let me know what you think. Let me know where I went off or something didn't sit right with you. Get down in the comments. Till the next one. See you guys.